The Seven Hills of Sheffield are scorching under a baking sun. In this city and around the country, people are being warned to appreciate the risks that come with the heat as the temperatures climb. Here in Sheffield, it's 30 degrees and a yellow heat health alert is in place, meaning there could be a rise in deaths among the vulnerable. But across large parts of the country, there's an amber alert, meaning the whole population could start to feel the effects of these hot conditions as we enter the third heat wave of the year. The UK has just had its warmest spring since records began in 1884, and last month was the warmest June on record for England. In May, North West England and Yorkshire officially entered drought, and today Yorkshire Water became the first company to bring in a hosepipe ban, covering much of Yorkshire and parts of North Lincolnshire and Derbyshire. South East Waters also announced that from the 18th of July, most households in Kent and Sussex will be banned from using hosepipes to clean cars, water gardens and fill paddling pools. And Thames Waters warned its 16 million customers across London and the Thames Valley they too could face a ban. Water UK says the companies are trying to avoid further restrictions by moving water to the driest areas and building new reservoirs. But will they be able to fill them? Yorkshire's reservoirs are just half full. In this area, cumulative rainfall so far this year is the lowest since 1959.
We're doing X is equal to 6 over 49.
The 1970s classrooms at Wales High School in Rotherham aren't built for the heat. Children have been allowed to swap their blazers for PE kit to try to help them keep cool and concentrate.
It's quite hard to concentrate in class, but since we've been allowed to wear these PE kits, so you can think more straight.
It can sometimes make you feel a bit sick if you don't have the right, if you don't have any water, or if your water's gone warm, it can be a bit tricky. It's starting to crush your mind a lot more, that it could be climate change is becoming a lot more of a risk factor than we knew and understood before.
And you'll be able to see we've got different parts of the building that are designed in different ways, and we've got some porta cabins whereby it's more difficult to keep cool in those.
Do you think education bosses, councils are going to have to rethink how they design schools, but also the school system, if this is the kind of weather we're going to have in future?
Oh, absolutely. It's so difficult to maintain concentration. I haven't mentioned staff. They find it difficult as well. We've relaxed their dress and what they wear too. But they'll definitely have to look at that. And we've got a new build coming up and will be complete for summer 27, and part of that design is to create it so that the building can control its own temperatures.
As well as redesigning our workplaces, we might have to design our day differently to work around a hotter climate.
We'll get to a phase where eventually we'll have to start planning as per happens in Southern Europe, because that's just how climate change is going to affect us. So we'll have to start changing the way our working patterns operate. So we'll have to kind of adjust our whole way of life as we get further into climate change and as the planet warms more.
So we might go to work early but finish early?
Quite possibly, yeah, quite possibly. I think that's probably a medium-term thing, but I could see that as a scenario.
Cornwall is one of the areas where the heat alert was upgraded today from yellow to amber. On Newquay Beach, they've got the sea to cool off, but heat is a growing danger. New research predicts that when you combine climate change with an ageing population, we're going to see heat-related deaths rise dramatically in England and Wales.
The worst case scenario up into the 2070s, say, if we have a high emissions scenario and large population growth and ageing of the population, we could see potentially sort of 50 times worse numbers of heat deaths than at the present day, which is quite shocking.
And in the short term, an immediate danger. There are wildfire warnings around the UK. 70 firefighters were needed to bring a grass fire under control in East London. The fire brigade saying with little sign of rain, the risk of further fires is severe.
Jane Death, well, an extreme risk of wildfires warning is in place for much of Scotland, where temperatures are expected to reach the high 20s this weekend. Let's get more from our Scotland correspondent, Catherine Sampson, who joins us from the Trossachs. What's it like there, Catherine?
Yeah, well, temperatures already in the mid-20s and, as you say, expected to rise in what many consider to be the hottest weekend of the year. And of course that is going to bring people in their droves to enjoy beauty spots like this one, Scotland's forests. But with that comes risk. These extreme wildfire warnings are in place now today for central and eastern parts of Scotland, but tomorrow they'll be in place for the whole of Scotland, and they're going to last right through until Monday. What this fire service are saying is really please take extreme caution if you are bringing anything into these areas that involves a naked flame. So we're talking barbecues and we're talking campfires, especially if there's a bit of wind, as there is in Scotland. These wildfires can spread extremely rapidly. They can devastate wildlife, they can devastate farmland. Quite often communities in rural areas have to get involved in trying to bring them under control. Now up north already in Murray, parts of the Highlands, some crews have been trying to tackle blazes for the last 3 days running. You know, there's an issue here with resourcing up in the Cairngorm National Park. They're saying they're going to have to send rangers out over the weekend to keep patrols going. And they're also waiting to hear back from the Scottish Government because Cairngorm National Park have proposals to bring in a fire bylaw and actually completely ban barbecues and fires from their parks.
Catherine, thanks very much.